A couple days ago, I uploaded a video regarding FragPunk, and it was my very first impressions of the game. And when I do first impressions videos, it truly is a first impressions. Like, some people play the game for 50 hours and then give their quote-unquote first impressions. That's not really what I do. I truly just play the game. The gameplay you see in the background is my very first time playing the game, and I give my very raw, unedited, general first feelings about the game. Since uploading that video, I have to say, I was really wrong about FragPunk, which is why I am making this video. And this video just goes to show that first impressions videos aren't like a definitive review. First impressions have things that can change, right? They're subject to change as you play the game, learn more things, gather more experiences, and that sort of stuff. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you why FragPunk, especially the respawn mode of FragPunk, is actually some of the most fun I've had in a while playing an FPS game. So if you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and swing by the Twitch streams. First link in the description. I stream every single day. Now, in my first impressions video, I basically just called the game like a copy of a copy of a copy. I was complaining, about just everything about the game, honestly. And that's because I think I had a predetermined opinion about the game before I even played it. I took a look at it. It just screams like it's going to be one of these games that dies in 2 weeks, that copies something else, and it's, generally speaking, just a nothing burger. But as I started to play the game more, especially the respawn mode, I was like, hold on a minute. This game's pretty damn good. If you set aside your biases against this game, you might look at it and say, well, it looks like a children's game with all these bright colors and, it's meant to attract ADHD, blah, 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 with the stupid voice lines and all this other stuff, and you just download it and give it a try. I think you'd be surprised at how enjoyable it really can be in the respawn mode. The 5v5, for me personally, doesn't do it for me. I have to play it more. But the respawn modes, let me tell you about that. If you have been struggling to find a casual respawn shooter without any SBMM that runs phenomenally, I'm talking I get literally over 500 FPS, do not overlook FragPunk. Playing Team Deathmatch, Free-For-All, and the other respawn modes in this game is genuinely super enjoyable, and the movement compared to the 5v5 is a lot better because in the respawn modes, they give you the slide by default, and the character abilities aren't really there. On top of that, every single time you respawn, you can choose any weapon in the game to play with, and you can choose these cards, which is the whole, unique thing this game did, the whole gimmick of the game. You can select cards, which are basically just like attributes, right? Little modifiers that can change the way the game plays. For instance, in a lot of this background footage, I'm using a card that gives me 40% faster ADS time. I'm using a card that makes me take no headshot damage. And that is an ability, right? So if I just hit Q, it activates that ability, and I don't take any increased headshot damage for an allotted amount of time. And the other ability is whenever I press the button, I just instantly regain 50 health. And there are a ton of different setups you can do in these respawn modes in order to actually make unique playstyles. For instance, sniping in this is actually pretty fun. The snipers, in my opinion, are actually pretty easy and overpowered, but we won't get into that. You can equip a sniper and then equip the card that says time to snipe, and that will increase your damage range by 20%, which allows you to have one-shot kills at farther ranges. And I'm sure there are many, many more combinations other than that I have not experienced yet. But one thing is certain in my mind. In my opinion, FragPunk actually took the wrong direction with their competitive mode. I think this game plays way better as a respawn shooter, and their competitive mode should have been something like Domination or Hardpoint from, let's say, I don't know, Call of Duty. That would have been absolutely insane, and I would have been grinding that right now because I think that would be the most fun I've had in a very, very long time in a competitive sort of setting ever since probably Gundam Evolution. The competitive mode that's in the game right now is, of course, the single elimination 5v5 bomb defusal game mode, and in my brief experience playing that, the abilities are just really annoying, the cards are really annoying, and it's kind of too slow and too casual to deliver a great 5v5 experience, at least in a bomb defusal game mode. If I want to play that sort of bomb defusal single elimination game mode, I'm simply going to play Counter-Strike, and that is what I said in my original video. In my opinion, that sort of competitive setting surrounding a bomb defusal game mode, that is just not very casual. Like, I don't want to be casual if I want to play that type of mode. I want to sweat my ass off, and there are better games to do that in my opinion. But I will definitely put more time in the 5v5, and maybe I'll make an update video about my thoughts about that if you guys are interested. But the main point of this video is, I think, secretly, the strong suit of FragPunk is actually the respawn modes. They are utterly fantastic, and I have a lot of fun. And I would love to see them lean into them just a little bit more. Maybe they could add some sort of ranked playlist and a ranked mode for a respawn mode. Like I mentioned previously, Domination, Hardpoint, there are a bunch you could choose from. But what this video really does show is don't judge a book by its cover too quickly, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I really sort of put this game off, and then it took a little bit of convincing for me to pick it back up, and then I ended up really liking one aspect of the game. So if you haven't tried FragPunk's respawn mode, I would highly recommend at least jumping in, giving it a try. You do unlock things as you play it, so you won't have like all the selection of the cards, but it's definitely a really fun, casual sort of thing you can jump into, and I think it's worth trying. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and swing by the Twitch streams. First link in the description. And enjoy the rest of this gameplay, which, by the way, was streamed on Twitch. Did I mention I stream on Twitch? Did I mention that?